The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now Mahomes.
They'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, it's Pacheco.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
To throw, it's Mahomes. It's complete to Brown, right side. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. They'll run for the first time with Kareem Hunt. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They'll try for the first with Pacheco.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
In motion goes the tight end. Throwing now is Mahomes. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why don't I just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes now to throw. That'll be caught by Rice. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well-drilled, well-prepared, and excited to start this game.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Here's Mahomes to throw.
That one caught by Rice. And the Chiefs are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. We're scoreless after 1. The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Pacheco is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Flushed out right. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Butker's kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And the first possession isn't until the 2nd quarter, but what's nice about it, it's only down 3. So what you sell your team on is, look, 1 possession, 1 drive, we put it in the end zone. We're in the lead in this game. Let's go, guys.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They set up the screen for Henry. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
From the gun, Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Henry running right. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10.
Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Blitz came there from the inside, and there just wasn't much resistance.
No, not at all. That means that defensively, they timed it up perfectly and matched up perfectly. They drew all the blockers to the other guys, left a free runner back to the quarterback, and you know what a free runner turns into?
What?
A free hitter.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Mahomes going to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now here's Mahomes.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
In motion, the tight end. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
This 2nd and 4.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. To throw again on second down. Mahomes, complete. The tight end, Kelsey.
Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick.
A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
If you missed the first half, there's not much to get you caught up on. Just the lone field goal accounting for the entirety of the scoring. A 3-0 game to this point, as both defenses have been strong so far.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
This is a game, Charles, it's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Now it's Jackson.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Yeah, that's a nice pickup there, especially when it comes on the heels of a 3-and-out the first time you have the ball. They were determined to not have that happen again, and that's a nice throw for their first down of the game.
First carry now for Justice Hill. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Second and 10.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Third and 3.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry. A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Ravens have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their plays.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. Jackson.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
A 1-yard touchdown pass.
And the Ravens have scored again in this third quarter, this time to move out in front. Well, Charles, I think you and I both agree these guys were outplayed in that first half, and the scoreboard reflected that, but they've come out since halftime. They've looked like a different team.
And it makes you wonder what was said and done in that locker room, because they've made some nice adjustments and they're executing better. I think they got some fiery guys on that sideline that had a few things to say at the half, and now they've come out with a vengeance.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 30 on second down, Mahomes.
Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
That is caught. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Now Mahomes. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now it's Mahomes again. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 21. That one goes for 24 yards.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Mahomes to throw once more. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. In motion right, one of the tight ends. Mahomes now to throw. Gets this into the hands of Gray, the tight end. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Butker's kick here is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit, because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
This is 2nd and 8.
Jackson from the shotgun. Throw left side complete. That's Flowers. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They go play action now. Jackson
looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
That ball caught. It's Rice.
And they work this out past the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Working from the gun, Mahomes.
That one caught by Rice.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. To throw, it's Mahomes.
And that's complete to Brown.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Very sharp here to start this drive, 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Mahomes. Finding Hunt.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give them that the rest of the way.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's third down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Mahomes. They'll go screen here to Hunt. He's into space past the 25. And he's going to be out of bounds to stop the clock. And they continue to move a little bit closer toward that potential game-winning field goal.
That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Here's Pacheco once again.
He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow! Wow!
Charles, what a big drive late in the 4th quarter to take this lead.
And normally you're really excited if your offense has the ball late in the game. But I think this crew is really excited to have their defense go back out there because they haven't surrendered a point in the 4th quarter yet. They've helped make this comeback possible with their defensive play. Now they get a chance to finish this game off.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. To throw is Mahomes. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down 14-7, 40 seconds to go. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10.
Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. Jackson to throw. That is caught. Bateman.
Well, I'm no coach, but there's just not time right now for throws that short.
Yeah, sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. As Coach Madden liked to say, sometimes you have to take what you want.
They'll come up now on second down.
Now Jackson apparently a little unsure of things, so he'll call a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
The middle of the field, still an option here. Got to hit something quickly and call a timeout. Now Jackson connecting with Andrews.
And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Throwing, Jackson. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip. Try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
One last shot for Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a flag comes out as that is batted down and incomplete. But I think there was early contact. Let's check the call. So the game will continue for at least one more play.
Cannot finish a game on a defensive penalty. That's why they get one more untimed attempt.
Dancing to his left. And he's in for the touchdown with the clock reading triple zeros. And the extra point, if they hit it, will send this thing to overtime.
Well, there's no doubt they just seized the momentum with that one. They can go ahead and kick the extra point here and ride that home wave on into overtime.
Now for the all-critical extra point. He's got it. No problems there. The extra point up and good, and we are headed to overtime. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes.
So it's the Ravens who won the toss. They'll get the football first here in overtime as the kick is away. And able to get this out to the 25. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
There's certainly fatigue on both sides of the football.
And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
Now an option play on 2nd down. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. First throw in overtime now for Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
A handoff, running left, Henry. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Now a first throw here in overtime. Going deep for Hopkins. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, if that's on target, this game's over. He let him just a little bit too much. And if they don't go on to win this one, that's a play that'll be discussed around the city and on talk shows all week long.
The Ravens send their punter out now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Pacheco headed right. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. The defense did its part. 3 points now. All they need as they work on second down. Mahomes to throw it. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Second and 11 at the 41. Mahomes will throw. And that went to the right side and incomplete. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Here's Mahomes. The throw left sideline falls incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on third down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get into overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now because they've eased into overtime. That first series, boy, everything on the line then. Now you've seen what a defense is throwing at you. You can make some adjustments. And all you need is 3 points to win it.
Each team's had it in overtime, so next score wins. Here's second down. Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. One overtime. How about two? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
The Ravens send their punter out now. And in double overtime, this needs to be a good one. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And that is nearly intercepted. Oh, that would have changed things here in overtime, but instead, it's just 2nd down.
And here in overtime, that had the potential to be the definition of a game-changing interception. But he couldn't find a way to pull it in. And that's a disappointment there.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now here's Mahomes.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Pacheco gets it up the gut.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
Everything right now resting on the right foot of Harrison Butker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. And they have won it here in double overtime. Well, Charles, the forecast called